There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the new open world boss, Belfazu. So in this video, I'm going to show you some of the gameplay on how this boss battle really goes. It's definitely a lengthy one. I mean, like the length of this video itself is about 6 minutes long. And as you can see, the health of this boss is a little bit past halfway. I would expect it, to take probably around 15 minutes, give or take, depending on how many people are there with you. But what's pretty cool and fun is the fact that there's these smaller mobs that spawn throughout this boss battle, and after you kill them, their heads come off, and you can actually pick up their pumpkin heads and throw it at the boss, and it deals probably around between 4 and 6,000 damage. But the main reason you actually want to take this route and pick up these heads and throw them at the boss is because it kills the boss's stamina. So in a little bit, you're going to actually see how much more damage we deal once the boss's stamina hits 0 and the boss is exhausted. As of right now, light attacks are dealing like between 2.5, 1k or so. But the overall goal for this boss battle to go a little bit faster is kill the stamina, because now our attacks are dealing over $15,000 just for light attacks. Abilities are hitting 20k plus. If I pick up a pumpkin and throw it, it could deal upwards of 25,000. And you can just see how big of a chunk that we actually just took off of that boss simply because of the stamina damage that was added on by making it exhausted. Overall, I would not encounter this boss until you actually have like a pretty good group, and I'm saying at least 10 of you to encounter this boss. You cannot solo this boss. I mean, maybe you can, but it's going to take you probably at least a half hour by yourself, and chances are you will die if you're trying to take this guy down by yourself. But yeah, as I mentioned, lengthy battle. It's going to take you a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and just let you enjoy the rest of the battle, and I'll jump back on and kind of explain what happens after you actually take down this boss and how you can use it to your benefit in the upcoming Halloween event. Okay, we are getting pretty close. As you can see, at some point in the battle, this boss will kind of do an AoE move, and green will kind of glow on the ground and pull you closer to him. So if you're light, just keep that in mind and get ready to dodge away and make sure you have enough health to survive that. Also, I highly recommend get a healer on your team, or in the group of 10 plus of you guys, just because you will be be dealt damage throughout the entire throughout the entire battle. And you do not want to die here. Regardless, play it safe, set some camps outside of the boss battle, and just make sure that you're there by the time you take it down so you can reap the rewards. We're almost there. I think for this specific boss battle, there was around eight of us or so. That's kind of why it took a little bit longer too. But what I love is the animations that New World has added to taking down these open world bosses, and we can kind of take a look at that right now. As you can see, he kind of lifts up. We get an item added to our inventory automatically. He kind of goes up into the sky, starts glowing green, and explodes. Super, super cool. I have not personally seen any of the items drop from him after you killing him, except for this item here, the Belfazu Iker. In the description, it kind of calls out the fact that you actually need to use this item and throw it into the bubbling brew of the Night Vale Cauldron, which is part of the Halloween event. So what we're going to do now is actually teleport to a town so we can actually throw this item into the cauldron and see what happens. So we're teleporting now, and you'll kind of get a closer look at what we actually get from this item and why it's worth taking down this boss over and over and over again to really get the most out of the Halloween event. So right now we're in Windsward. We are running to the middle of the town. Every single town is going to have this bubbling cauldron, so it doesn't matter what town you go to, but you will have the ability to drop it into the cauldron, and then you get a cash and then one Night Veil token, which is the event's currency. Let's take a closer look at the cash and actually see what's inside when we open it. So we can see we got 10 Night Veil tokens, a Halloween pattern for one of the weapons, and then an item called Cauldron's Coins. We'll take a closer look at how many coins are actually included here, and it's about 135.